You might have noticed in my previous videos that for months now I've been trying to get faster in my sim racing, and I've been doing a lot of that in Forza Motorsport in the Logitech McLaren G Challenge. Now I know a lot of people say that Forza Motorsport is not a real sim. However, in my journey of getting faster, I have noticed a lot of real sim techniques massively playing off in Forza Motorsport. And Logitech McLaren G Challenge is an area where you are doing a ton of laps and making a ton of mistakes. So as you keep lapping, you are piecing together corners, apexes, braking points, and at some point you might just put it together for an insane lap. 141.5! And treating Forza Motorsport like an arcade game just won't work, especially with this new challenge, which is the insane McLaren P1 at the iconic Watkins Glen circuit. Watkins Glen is infamous for elevation changes, camber, and needing to be very precise hitting the apex so you don't run wide on the exit. Now here's an example how not to drive in Forza Motorsport at this track if you do an arcade technique of just trying to brake as late as possible and turn in. If you do that, you'll just understeer. But here's an example of how to do it if you treat it like a sim. Gradually bleed off the brake, and as you do that, turn into the corner, trail braking, and hit a really nice apex. So let's get into it. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can improve your driving techniques in Forza Motorsport and maybe win incredible cash and prizes as part of the Logitech McLaren G Challenge. Okay, so here we go, starting with the iconic straight at Watkins Glen, pits on the right hand side, and the devilish turn one. You don't want to brake too late because you're just going to understeer off, and you actually, like, that car's literally done. You actually want to get a really nice exit. Now this is tricky, we're probably not going to nail this first time because it's often a blend of lifting and getting exactly the right apex here, so you can be flat on the exit and clip these curbs. It really is about ultimate precision. Coming into chicane now, let's see. You want to pick up your marker. Try not to understeer too much, but you are essentially going to understeer if you want to brake as late as possible. So very tricky one. And by the way, this is all part of the Logitech McLaren G Challenge, where there's over $100,000 in cash and prizes being given away, including a VIP trip to an F1 race, courtesy of Logitech, G and McLaren. That's awesome. Such a cool prize. Big thanks to Logitech G for putting that on and sponsoring this video, where I'm obviously going to be helping you get into the Logitech McLaren G Challenge, and plenty of prizes just for taking part. Hit that link in the description. Don't miss out. Now Watkins Glen, I talked about elevation changes. These are big elevation changes here, and it puts pressure on the car in different ways. And the last corner is, well, very difficult. It's much faster than you think. You want to get in the camber and then dice with the track limits on the exit. And it's a similar situation here where you want to get in that camber and accelerate out. So remember, on Forza Motorsport, you've got to drive it like a sim. You've got to use sim techniques. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to brake loads later here. That was an issue with the gearing, by the way. If you had a look at my gears, you'll see I went down too many. I'm trying to work out what to do with the gears here. And I want to lift a little bit here. I think the P1 has enough strength down the straight, because I really don't want to compromise the exit. But with Forza Motorsport, we've got to drive like a sim. Basically, just get involved. Rivals is a really fun way to do it. You're not actually... You can see there, the wheel I had was turned, and the car was going straight. So that was, again, exceeding the limits of grip. And I think, yeah, I thought about going to third, but not going to happen. Probably I want to get in that camber earlier. By camber, I mean the angle of the circuit. You can have camber that helps you. Like here, it's going to help us a little bit because it's like the corner's banked. So you'll be able to carry a bit more speed. There's also camber here, but this camber can turn into adverse camber. If you end up going too deep, you end up falling off the circuit at the top. And it doesn't help you out. But just get involved. And obviously let me know in the comments what kind of lap times you're doing. It's all a big community. Now, some cars I would recommend trying to rotate on the throttle. I wouldn't try and do that in this car in second gear. In fact, I'm not sure we need to go lower than third gear in this car. You can see how high the revs are. Just down one gear here. Obviously, we're going to get faster and the rival system is going to help us. So let's try and not go down too many gears here for turn 1, and let's try not to brake too late. So we're going to keep it in 4th, not going to go down to 3rd. And see that car massively understeered. And then we're going to dice a little bit as we go over the crest, the elevation. The car's going to want to go to the left-hand side, but we're going to keep it in check. Up to 6. And there we go. That's more like it, to be honest. You can have a look at my difference in my hands on the wheel that time. I mean, those 2 laps, if you ever want to see a good example of how to combat understeer and what to do to fix it, the last lap we had as much understeer as you can possibly get. And then this lap here, it just responded really nicely. Why? I just kept braking in a straight line a little bit longer. And then when the car was ready to turn in, when the tyres had available grip, I eased off the brake and I started to turn. And it was really satisfying. That's trail braking. If you ever wonder what trail braking is. So we'll need to go up a gear there. So I'm still kind of in recon mode here, working out the gears, just circulating. Just to be clear, I'm not trying to set any beastly lap times here, because I don't know the gears well enough yet and the secrets to the corners. So we're 3 laps in and I'm just enjoying it. This is a great thing about Rivals. If this was a race, I'd have to be trying to battle and everything off the bat. So there's a real element to time trialing that is super fun that not a lot of people talk about. So I think we can go down to 4th gear here for turn 1. Bit more understeer that time. You see the car, the ghost car there is going to get a better exit. So that's the effect of the understeer. I can feel the true force. By the way, you don't need to be on Logitech equipment to enter the Logitech McLaren G Challenge. I've had that question before. But you can win some. And in fact, I'm probably doing a giveaway in this video. So if you got this far and you haven't realised, don't forget at the end of the video to hit the link in the description for a little personal giveaway. If we're doing one, that will be courtesy of Logitech G. Something nice. Maybe some headphones. Maybe something else. Click the link to find out if you're eligible. T's and T's apply. This is where we have a ghost now to sort of chase, and it's a bit... Ugh. I should still be trying to find out how to do the circuit, but there's a ghost there, and I want to kind of race them. So it's interesting to see. Now, bear in mind, as you do Rivals, you might not be racing people with the best lines off the bat, but it's better than... If I had the top time in the world here, they'd just be gone. I just wouldn't be able to keep up, so it wouldn't be that helpful. So the rival system gives you kind of good opponents to kind of face off against. Now, I don't know what... Oh, okay, the rival here is just 1,000th faster than us. So given we made a significant mistake on turn 1, we won't be able to get them here. But I'm getting in the groove. I mean, that last corner there, we'll see on the little... I don't know what they call it in Forza, but that little delta thing is quite cool. So we can go down to 4th gear here, braking kind of here. Nice. Oh, a bit tentative, but pretty similar to where we were. Sort of feathering the throttle up the hill, because there's no point sliding around. Now, we were nice through here last time. Broke a little bit earlier that time, and actually I'm going to like it on the exit. It's a very different line there. And remember, we outbroke ourselves here and we understeered. So I'm just going to be a bit patient. Power on the exit. See, we're a little bit up. So we're making progress. So definitely I wouldn't use second gear in this car. New best flying up all over the place. You know, people say, is Forza Motorsport a sim? And a lot of people say, no, it isn't a sim. And obviously there's a spectrum of, you know, simulation to arcade, but I have to say, I think the fundamentals, and I've always said this, the fundamentals of Forza are very, very, very involving to drive. The cars feel like they have a limited, conditional relationship with the tarmac through the tyres, through the medium of the tyres. I would say better than Gran Turismo. That's probably too deep. Actually, maybe not. Better than Gran Turismo. And it can be sometimes in the online racing where things get a little bit, shall we say, chaotic. But when you take it to a Rivals format like this, and it's just sort of pure Forza driving, it's extremely rewarding. So we're getting a bit more confident there, albeit the Ghost was a bit more confident than us. And I would like to see the Ghost line through here. And let's try and keep improving. It's very satisfying when you slip through the gears like that. That was a very nice gear change. Felt like at the right RPM coming down. And I like doing manual gears and sort of feeding it through as part of a rhythm. I'm often using the dark parts of the tarmac to play off when it comes to braking. You can see here what I'm feeling in this particular combination, that we need to brake before a lot of the time, probably because the car accelerates so strongly. Probably accelerates stronger than its brakes, if that makes sense. This McLaren car was absolutely legendary. I mean, it is legendary. When it came out, it was just... So the laps are going to be a whole second quicker. A whole second, which is pretty astonishing. And again, you can see that guy's come absolutely steaming in. And we'll catch up with him on the exit. And we'll see we're now in that groove a little bit, and then we'll... Hopefully that might be a bit too much. Just about holding it. But you can see from the Ghost confirming that this car is quite slidey to drive. See, I'm right lecking out with the Ghost, but I've gone a little bit too much there, and then the gear change didn't help. I'm going to keep going to keep the rhythm and see what the Ghost is doing there. And he looks like he's also struggling. Our rival. He's also sliding there. Which makes me think that if we have a smooth driving style, we will be able to improve yet further. I like the way that he clipped that bump. There's very weird exit there to be over on the right hand side. Sometimes it's often nice to just follow a Ghost and you end up having some decent sectors. I feel we can carry quite a bit of speed through there. Just a little bit too wide and we end up on the grass. I do think I learned quite a bit on that lap. So let's see if we can put it together. We can go down to 4th gear here. Just missing the curb actually. But getting quite a nice exit. Feathering the throttle quite a lot up the hill, which might cost us. We might see the Ghost come through us here. So this exit curve at Watkins Glen is often so important. And powering it, there was obviously more power we could have given there earlier. I don't think a late apex is a bad thing here. That's not great, a lot of feathering. Again, we might see the ghost claw back. We saw that other ghost, it kind of clipped the curb sort of here. Which feels like a nice exit. And it is a new best. That feels deep, but actually I think we might recover a bit on the exit. Again, a late apex here is not a bad thing. Very different lines to that ghost. Very different driving styles, which is interesting. Would make a fascinating race. And the McLaren P1, because of the experimentation I was doing early on, I feel comfortable with it on the exit. We've gained another bit of time there. I think we ideally want to be on that curb on the right hand side. So I'm just going to get in there. A little bit of movement. We might hit the barrier. Just clipping it. There we go. And the world's biggest accident. Whoa! Oh my days. So a lot in there, like what not to do and what to do. Just to break it down, don't keep understeering. If you're braking and turning the wheel and you're going straight, ease back the braking point so you can brake in a straight line, and when you come off you start to turn, and then work out that sweet spot. And when you're on the power, work out kind of like what gear you should be in on the power. Don't want to be too low, you're going to spin the tyres, hit the limiter. Sometimes you might want to be in a higher gear than you expect. That's what we did with third gear. And then we had a really fun lap where it felt like we kind of got what we were trying to do together. But that's not it, because the next step will be to go into the rivals leaderboard and set a target half a second quicker and chase that rabbit. And then when we've got that, chase another one 2/10 quicker and go up the leaderboard like that. So we've only just started really our journey, but I wanted to show you how fun it can be in Forza Rivals, in the McLaren G Challenge. $100,000 in crash and prizes will be given away. Definitely click the link below, get involved. Someone's going to win it. I hope it's you if you're eligible. And let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you next time.